Hello friends, welcome back. Today we'll see how we can interact with our AWS resources using AWS CLI, that is command line interface from our terminal. Okay, so let's start. What we are going to cover today, what is AWS CLI, installation of AWS CLI and its configuration, overview of various commands, execution of commands and use of IAM role in the AWS CLI. How we can use IAM role to access our resources. What is the AWS CLI? The AWS CLI is a unified tool to manage your AWS services from a terminal session on your own client. So it allows you to control and configure multiple services and implement a level of automation. With just this one tool, you can control multiple AWS services from the command line and automate them through the scripts. Okay, so let's see how we can download and install the AWS CLI. Here is that installing, updating, and uninstalling the AWS CLI. Okay, so you can find all this information in the Amazon's official web page. Okay, they have a docs.aws.amazon.com. From there you can get this link and get all this information. So based on your operating system, you have to choose the details, like whether you want to go for Linux, Mac OS, and or Windows. So I'm going to do for Linux. I'll show you how to install and all, right? So here they have given the options how you can download this and unzip and then install it. Okay, so let's start. Get the public IP. Okay, we can now install the AWS CLI on this Linux environment. Okay, so go to the installation page and here just copy the curl command to download the AWS CLI version 2. Just enter it. So now it is downloaded. Okay, what we have to do next, once it is downloaded, we have to unzip the bundle what was downloaded. Okay, just unzip it. Okay, once it is unzipped, now we can install the AWS CLI. Okay, here just copy, install it. Okay, now it is installed and it is saying us to run the AWS hyphen version to check the version. Okay, so what we can do, AWS hyphen version. Okay, so what it says, the AWS CLI version is 2.135, Python 3.8. Now we can set up the symbolic link to access AWS from anywhere in the terminal. Okay, so to do that, you can just copy this and come here. Now what we can do, we can create a user and get the programmatic access key ID to configure your AWS CLI. Okay, so let's go and create an user. Go to IAM, you can quickly create an user, suppose demo user, and here we are giving only programmatic access. Okay, so it will enable an access key ID and secret access key. So just select it, next permission. You can just give a group. Okay, so the user is created. Now download the credentials. You can see here the access key ID and the secret access keys, right? Just download the CSV file. We need these details while setting up the AWS CLI, while configuring the AWS CLI. So let's start. To configure AWS CLI, you have to just type AWS configure. It will first ask for AWS key ID, access key ID. Okay, so what is the access key ID? Just open the file. Okay, so what we can see it here, we got our access ID. Okay, just copy it, go to the terminal. Now it's asking for secret access key. Okay, so we can get the secret access key here, copy and put it here, enter. So it's asking for the default region name. It's asking for the region name. If you want to give the particular region you want to connect, you can just add it there, or you can just leave it as default. Leave it, and its output format. Remember, the default output format for this command line interface is in the JSON format. Okay, just leave it as default. Now we configured our AWS. Now we can see how to access the AWS resources from the command line interface. There is a very good reference guide provided by the AWS. If you see here, the AWS CLI command reference, here you can find all list of all sort of commands. Okay, what you're going to use in this CLI. So what are the resources you're going to, what are the services. So all the commands are listed here based on the services. Okay, suppose we are going to use S3 service. Okay, what you can do here, just come here and see the S3 service here, S3. So what are the options of this particular S3 command? You can get it over here. So here the command details, okay, directory and S3 prefixation and all. So how you can use these commands also is given, the synopsis. Okay, so the basics of this command actually, how we can use. First you have to type AWS, okay, and the service name, which service you are going to use. Suppose I'm going to use S3. Okay, then what you want to do, ls, just enter. So here we can see we have 3 buckets created. Okay, if you want to list any bucket, just give AWS S3 ls, suppose Ranjit Swing. Okay, so it displays what are the objects inside the bucket. Okay, so this is a simple command. So we can also create the buckets if the bucket doesn't exist. Make bucket mb and keep the bucket name. Okay, so what I have to use s3 dot and the bucket name, suppose Ranjit Swing 123. Okay, enter. So make bucket is created. If you want to list the bucket, just AWS S3. We can see here the bucket is now created. Okay, in this way you can manage all the services whatever you want. Let's see how we can use the other services. Okay, just go to the command reference, and suppose if you want to use the commands for EC2, just go and find it out here, EC2. Okay, and you can just select. Suppose you want to describe, you can describe one suppose instance. What you have to do is just come here and see where is the describe instance options available here. Okay, so here describe instance, so you can find it out the options how you can use the AWS commands to view the EC2 instances. Here is the option, Okay, you just see the uses, how you can use here. Just get this AWS EC2 describe hyphen instances, AWS EC2 describe instances, and we have to provide the instance ID. Okay, so instance IDs, and just give the instance ID. Okay, enter. Here we can see the all the informations are given in a JSON format. Okay, the output given in a JSON format. See here the image ID, instance ID, and instance type, whatever the things, and the state, what is it running, and all, and the public IP, public DNS name, and private IP, everything is provided here. So now we saw how we can configure AWS CLI using access key ID and access secret key. Now we can see how we can access the services using the IAM role. So let's start. For that, we have to first create an IAM role. Just go to your AWS Management Console and just go to IAM. Let's create a role. Okay, go to role, create new role. As we are going to use EC2, select EC2, give permission. Just select the whatever the policy you want. Administrator access, I'm going to give the administrator access. Okay, now just add tags. I can give like EC2 admin 2. Okay, review it, just give admin 2, create role. Okay, here we can see just created another role of EC2 admin 2. Okay, now what we can do, just go to the terminal. When you configure the AWS CLI, that time a hidden directory will be created, and all the information like your access key ID and access secret keys will be stored over there. Okay, so you can just find out like ls-la. You can see here one.aws directory is created. Okay, so if you go inside to this directory, and you can find this credentials informations. Okay, let me show you. See, our access key ID and the secret access key is provided here. So AWS uses this file and refer this access key ID and secret key to connect to your AWS account. Okay, so now let me remove these AWS accounts or hidden accounts. Okay, now we'll use and access our AWS accounts using IAM role. Okay, now what we'll do, just let me delete this directory. Okay, rm-rf.aws. Okay, now the file is deleted, directory is completely deleted. If you now access AWS S3 ls, see it says unable to locate credentials. Okay, it's not able to, and it's asking us to first configure our AWS. So instead that we can use our IAM role to access the AWS resources. So for that, what we have to do, just go, as we have already created our role, just go to the EC2 dashboard. Okay, and there we can assign this IAM to our instances. Okay, so what we can do, just go here, select this action, security, modify IAM role. Okay, and here we can assign the IAM role created for that. So C2 admin 2 and save. Okay, so now the IAM role is provided to this EC2 instances. Let's go to the terminal. Now you can just do AWS S3 ls. See, we can now able to access and see the resources. Okay, so in this way you can automate all your stuffs using AWS CLI. Okay, hope you understand the concept of AWS CLI, how you can install, configure and use the commands, and can follow the command reference guide of AWS. If you have any doubt or any concerns, just do comment me in the comment section below. Okay, and thanks for watching till end. If you have not subscribed my channel, please do subscribe so that you'll get notified when I add more videos on this topic. Thank you.